Rhonda Cunningham. Can you please unmute? And Rhonda, would you start tonight by sharing with our crew here today, what were you dealing with when I first talked to you about the patches? What was going on in your body?
A lot. So a decade ago, I was rear-ended by somebody doing 45, and it did a lot of damage. I had traumatic brain injury. I had multiple surgeries to fix rotator cuff tear, torn meniscus in both knees, had that surgery twice, and it wasn't getting better. I just kept getting worse, and it wasn't working. And I had a lot of pain in my spine, but I didn't want to do that surgery. But about 8 years afterwards, I was to the point where I could not do daily activities, whether it was outdoor yard work or housework or things like that, without debilitating pain that was causing migraines that lasted 2 weeks. And so I gave in to a surgeon that did 22 ablations in my spine and relieved most of the pain for 3 months, and it all came back. That was a 6-figure surgery not covered by insurance that wiped out my total car settlement. And then you gave me a call and said, let's do lunch.
So when you first heard me, I think this is kind of an interesting part. When I first told you what it was, your initial response to me was,
those don't work. I've tried them before.
Now, here's what's interesting about that, y'all, is she had gotten the patches from somebody who didn't follow up with her, that didn't give her proper instructions on how to use the patches. And Rhonda, we're going to go over the science and technology later, but Rhonda was wearing these patches 24/7. And she was wearing only the X39, but she was wearing it like taking one patch off and putting it on, putting the next one on. And what happens when we do that is your body acclimates to the light therapy and it stops working. So if you ever heard anybody say LifeWave patches don't work, there's probably a very logical explanation for it. And Rhonda was one of those explanations. And over lunch, I explained this to her and she said, okay, let's give it another try. And Rhonda, tell me, over the next few months, what did you experience?
So I started with 4 patches instead of the X39. I wore them properly, which was 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And the first day I was wearing the patches, I did go out and do some yard work. The grandkids were ever wanted to plant plants, and a migraine came on, which is what normally would happen. But what was different was by 8 o'clock that night, the migraine went away instead of lasting 2 weeks. And I haven't had a migraine since. And as the next few weeks went on, I could go out and do things and have pain for shorter amounts of time, to where then I had no time, no pain at all. And I was supposed to have knee replacement last year for bone on bone on my right knee, which I did not have the surgery because I have no pain. I can go up and down stairs the right way. Like I said, I don't have migraines anymore. I now sleep through the night. That's fantastic. I can do multiple things. I can go out and do yard work and come in and do housework all in the same day and not have any problems. I have my life back.
That's so amazing. And I am so grateful that that happened for you. And I know we've had a lot of other breakthroughs, that it looks like your sugar is starting to come into control as well. But we were talking earlier about your mom, and you were commenting about how you visited your mom today and you were just blown away because you hadn't seen her for, several days. And when we're away for a while, we notice changes more than when we're with them every day. So tell me about that. What was your mom dealing with, and what's going on with her now?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, my brother passed away from COVID issues, and he had been taking care of mom all these years. Dad had been gone for 30 years, and mom had Parkinson's going on 6 years then, and recently had at that time received a pacemaker because her heart wouldn't beat 5 beats without needing the pacemaker to help. She's in AFib 100% of the time. So with Parkinson's, they say it's a terminal disease, and the research shows that 6 years just doing medication, they start deteriorating pretty fast, which is what was happening with her. So when I came in to take over her care, I said, Mom, what do you want to do? She said, well, I want to do the things I used to do. I said, okay. So we changed her diet. We added supplementations. I threw all the patches on her. She detoxed pretty hard, didn't like that. But there were times where she'd show up and her hand was in a claw like this and she couldn't move her fingers. Well, if you think about your right hand and how many things, if you're right-handed, you do with that hand. You can't eat, you can't brush your hair, you can't put clothes on, daily activities, just like I had problems with daily activities. And I put the X49 patch right on her hand, and within 10 minutes, she's like this. From that day on, she will not go a day without her patches. She's been on them going on 2 years now. So it does take time, even though she got little wins along the way. When I saw her yesterday, people that she meets do not know she has Parkinson's unless we tell them. The tremors are under control. Yes, she still takes medicine for that, but I took her off all her medicines except for 2. One she uses because of the pacemaker, one because of the tremors. But she does exercises every day. She walks around the whole facility, which is an incline and a decline, without a cane, a walker, or a wheelchair, which most people where she lives have to utilize those. And sorry, the cat is shaking the whole computer. So she used to walk really slow and shuffle. That's just typical for people, and they're bent over like this. But we have her doing exercises where she puts her head up against the wall to keep her posture. And I was walking down the hallway like I do with her. We're going to go to lunch, and she could keep up with me. Where I used to leave her behind and I had to stop and wait for her to catch up because I'm just a fast walker. She was just motoring along with me, and I was like, well, look at you go, Mom. So, and then she showed me, she says, I want you to see my bicep here. Her bicep got this big. And I'm like, what have you been doing? She said, I've been doing my exercises. You won't believe it. Let me show you. She was all excited about how well she's doing with a disease that they say is terminal.
And how old is your mom again, Brenda?
86. She's going to be 87 in a couple months and wants to go on a cruise again.
So she's almost 87. She's going on 8 years of a Parkinson's diagnosis and motoring all over her assisted living facility without any walking assistance whatsoever. And
I forgot to tell you about her cognition is back and her memory's back. She's very sharp. The people that work there will talk and say things, and she hears them, and she's sharp. Nothing gets by her. And she'll call me up and say, you won't believe what they said. So she's very sharp for somebody with Parkinson's. And she's on no memory medication. I took her off all those.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your testimony and a little bit about your mom. We so appreciate you coming on tonight and sharing with us. I know it'll be helpful for many of the people that are on our call here tonight.
Thank you for watching. And to learn more about this amazing technology, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.